Let's get right into it. Number 10, the memory seed trick. Your brain is weird. It forgets where you left your phone, but it remembers that one embarrassing thing you did in 6th grade at 3 a.m. for no reason. Humans are wired for emotional echoes, tiny moments that stick and replay when the brain is bored, tired, or spiraling. And when it comes to attraction, these micro moments are basically cheat codes. So if you want a man's mind to drift toward you at random times like a pop-up ad, you don't need dramatic gestures. You just need seeds. Small but vivid interactions that land with a little emotional punch. A specific compliment that nobody else has ever said. A weirdly charming joke that hits harder than it should. A shared moment where you two laugh, pause, or just lock eyes half a beat longer than normal. These little things, his brain files them under important, revisit later. And then it does, over and over. Basically, you become the jingle stuck in his head, but the kind he doesn't want to stop humming. Number 9, emotional pattern interrupts. You know when you're showering and suddenly forget how shampoo works? Or when you walk into a room and your brain blue screens for 5 seconds? That's a pattern interrupt. Your mind short circuits because something doesn't go the way it expects. This also happens socially. Humans love predictable interactions, even if they're boring. But when someone drops a tiny surprise, a playful tease, a sudden moment of sincerity, a bold question, a witty comeback, the brain stops, rewinds, and pays attention. If you want to live rent-free in his head, give him harmless, happy glitches. Stuff that jolts him out of autopilot for just a second. You're not being chaotic. You're adding novelty, and the male brain loves novelty. It's like upgrading his emotional Wi-Fi. He'll walk away thinking, why did that moment feel different? Congrats, you just rebooted him. Now he's buffering for more. Number 8, the vivid story effect. If humans remembered life as clearly as they remember movie quotes, nobody would lose their keys. But our brains don't store facts, they store stories. We're wired to replay scenes more than details. So when you tell him stories, dramatic, silly, awkward, heartfelt, you give his imagination footage to replay. He's not just remembering your words, he's picturing your expressions, your tone, your gestures, and the vibe you create. This builds an emotional world where you're the narrator and his mind loves to revisit it. Tell stories with color. Tell stories with emotion. Tell stories that put little movie clips of you into his head. Suddenly, he's remembering something funny you said 2 days ago while brushing his teeth, and you didn't even need a trailer. Number 7, the soft exposure loop. Think about how you don't crave fries until you see someone else eating them. Humans want what's gently in front of them, not forced, not begged for, just present. When you show up in small, low-pressure ways, a quick, "this reminded me of you" meme, a simple check-in, a tiny voice message, a casual update, you slowly become part of his daily atmosphere. Not overwhelming, not clingy, just a presence that feels warm, familiar, and oddly comforting. His brain starts to associate your consistency with safety. And when something feels safe, he starts looking for it. If you've ever panicked because someone didn't reply for a day, congratulations, you've experienced the soft exposure loop from the other side. You become his mental routine, and he notices the silence when you're not around. Number 6, confident ambiguity. Imagine giving a raccoon a shiny box it can't open. That raccoon is not sleeping until it figures out what's inside. Human brains? Basically the same. Confidence draws people in. Ambiguity keeps them curious. Confident ambiguity isn't being mysterious for no reason. It's being open enough to feel real, but not so open that there's nothing left to explore. Share a little, then let him fill in the blanks. Be warm, then unexpected. Be playful, then drop a meaningful line that sits with him for days. This is attractive because it feels alive. It feels layered. It feels like you have a world he wants to explore, and he hasn't unlocked all the levels yet. You're not a puzzle he's forced to solve. You're a puzzle he wants to solve. Number 5. The Dopamine Association. Picture this. Your brain is a tiny slot machine that pays out dopamine instead of money. When something feels good, laughter, comfort, excitement, relief, your brain slaps a big sticker on it that says, "More of this, thank you." If a man consistently feels positive emotions around you, his brain starts connecting you to the reward. You become the source of good vibes. He might not even realize what's happening. He just knows he feels lighter, happier, calmer, or more energized around you. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional chemistry. And once his brain stamps you as the good feel person, guess what happens when he's stressed, when he's bored, when he's lonely? He thinks of the fastest dopamine route. Spoiler, it's you. Number 4, the mirror with a twist. Mirroring isn't copying someone like a broken NPC. It's syncing without losing yourself. Humans naturally like people who feel familiar. Similar tempo, similar vibe, similar energy. But the trick is not matching him completely. It's matching him just enough, then adding your unique twist. If he's calm, you soften your tone but add your warmth. If he's energetic, you match the momentum but keep your own rhythm. This makes him feel connected without even realizing why. It's social chemistry, not mimicry. You're not his mirror, you're his reflection with better lighting. Number 3, strategic vulnerability. Imagine opening a window just enough for a breeze, not enough for chaos. That's how vulnerability works when done right. You don't dump your entire life story. You don't overshare. You just share little pieces, small fears, tiny dreams, funny insecurities, personal quirks. When you reveal bits of your inner world, his brain leans in. Humans are naturally curious, but they're especially hooked when someone gives them just enough depth to feel special, but not enough to feel overwhelmed. This makes him feel emotionally trusted, and people rarely forget the ones who make them feel trusted. You're not a mystery, you're a story unfolding, and he wants the next page. Number 2, the signature detail. Think about the people you remember instantly. The girl with purple headphones, the guy who always wears yellow socks, the friend who laughs like a cartoon witch. Signature details stick. They act like little bookmarks your brain can't help but flip back to. Give him one thing that's so you, he can't unsee it. A perfume that somehow smells like nostalgia and chaos. A phrase you always say that becomes your unofficial catchphrase. A hairstyle that frames your face in a way that makes his neurons take attendance. A unique laugh he starts listening for in crowded rooms. Even a silly emoji you always send, something that becomes your fingerprint in his messages. These tiny consistencies become mental shortcuts. Whenever he encounters them again, in public, in conversations, and random moments, his brain does the thing. It thinks of you first. You basically become a personal notification he doesn't know how to disable, and honestly, he doesn't want to. Number 1, the emotional imprint. This is the big one, the final boss. People don't remember behavior, they remember emotion. If you make him feel seen, challenged, respected, inspired, safe, or genuinely understood, that becomes the imprint. And emotional imprints don't fade. They just settle in deeper when life gets loud. Once a man connects you with a feeling he doesn't get often, maybe calmness after a rough day, excitement after a long week, or just the rare comfort of being fully himself, his brain turns you into a landmark. You become the person he thinks about when he's stressed, because his mind associates you with relief. He thinks of you when he's happy, because sharing joy feels natural with you. He thinks of you when he's lonely, because your presence fills the emptiness without forcing it away. You're not just someone he remembers, you're the emotional reference point his mind keeps circling back to. You're not just in his thoughts, you're woven into his emotional wiring. And that imprint? Good luck shaking it. He won't. That's all for today. I'll be making more videos like this, so subscribe if you don't want to miss them.